I want to enter to the record congressional testimony, Salt Typhoon Securing America's Telecommunications Information from State-Sponsored Cyber Attacks, April 2nd, by Corey Simpson, JD.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the administration has said that discussing attack plans on Signal wasn't a big deal because Signal is end-to-end encrypted. But what does that really mean? I just want to explain to people at home exactly how this encryption works and how a phone works, really. So end-to-end encryption means that after I press the send button on my phone, my message gets scrambled if you're using Signal. And that scrambled version travels to its end destination. Anyone who reads the message in the middle wouldn't know what I said, but what if the hackers aren't trying to intercept my message while it's moving? What if they had already hacked the phone itself, or hacked my friend's phone, who I'm sending the message to? So let's take a closer look at how a phone works. And you can see here there's a lot of ways a phone can get hacked. And Dr. Blaze, this is your area of expertise. Yes or no, is it true that hackers can access information on your phone if you are connected to public Wi-Fi?
Under many circumstances, yes, with personal devices.
And then can they access your phone and the messages you're sending through a Bluetooth connection or even a USB port, let's say?
All those expose the phone to vulnerabilities.
And isn't it true that if I accidentally clicked on, let's say, a malicious ad or a link, that could download something on my phone that could also make my messages or what I'm doing on my phone vulnerable?
That's actually a very common way of attacking phones.
So there are, even if you're using an end-to-end encrypted app like Signal, there are so many ways to hack your phone itself and America's top national security officials should know this, and they're probably the #1 target for many of these types of hacks. And it's hard to believe that they would even be using Signal. There's a reason why we don't put secure information and classified information on Signal in the first place. And just yesterday, we found out that Mike Waltz's team uses Gmail to communicate as well. Mr. Blaze, is Gmail vulnerable as well if you're sending information, classified or sensitive information to and from people? I would say it's probably more vulnerable than Signal, correct?
That's right. Well, Gmail isn't even end-to-end encrypted, so it's vulnerable to attacks on both the device and the network itself and Google's infrastructure.
And has Gmail been infiltrated in the past for national security information?
Yes.
And can you tell me, do you remember any instances of that?
There are many, many ways to attack a Gmail user. The most common is to obtain their passwords or other access control and essentially log in as them with full access. And this happens so often that it's almost impossible to single out a single instance. But state actors are notorious for this sort of attack.
And I think it's pretty clear that this shouldn't have been happening. And if any regular low-level defense or intelligence staff had been involved in anything like this, they would have been fired immediately. And that's what really is concerning to me now. Speaking of firings, we have actually been laying off a lot of our top cybersecurity experts at CISA and across the government. Dr. Blaze, what do you think would be the impact of some of these firings on our ability to defend against hostile cyber attacks in the future?
Well, the battle to defend our infrastructure is fundamentally difficult. It's fundamentally a problem that the offense side has an advantage with, because computer systems, personal devices, the servers that serve them are all vulnerable to attacks, some of which have not yet been discovered and some of which have not yet even come into existence. But we don't know how to build secure systems in any top-to-bottom way. So I would say that having an active defense to identify and fix vulnerabilities from all sectors, from the private sector, government, and individual end users, is essential.
And Mr. Chairman, I ask for unanimous consent to enter into the record an article dated March 13, 2025. People are scared inside CISA as it reels from Trump's purge.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you. I think it's pretty clear that this shouldn't have happened. We need to understand how prevalent the use of third-party apps and private phones is when talking about classified or secure or sensitive information. And so we've sent a letter to the administration. I hope that we'll get some answers. I yield back.